Good afternoon. Thank you everyone for coming out this evening. I am Kye Williams, the Communications Manager for the City of Jackson. And after the mayor makes his presentation, we will have a short Q&A. So without further ado, I bring you Mayor Shugway and Tar Lumumba.
Good afternoon. It is my pleasure to stand before you today as we bring clarity to the issue concerning our Jackson Public School District. Over the last few weeks, there has been intense discussions regarding the state of our school district and the question or possibility of a potential state takeover. I am pleased to announce that the governor, the mayor's office, the Kellogg Foundation, and the Jackson Public School District has reached an agreement that not only looks at the present state of our school district, but the opportunity for improvement, the opportunity to have a transformational school district. To that end, we have reached an agreement where we will implement an Educational Excellence Advisory Commission, which will be made of 15 individuals, both locally and nationally, who have had specific expertise in the realm of education that will look to provide an analysis of the current conditions of JPS so that we can communicate that with the community in order to get feedback from the community, most importantly, so that we can identify our goals and objectives within our Jackson Public School District. That commission will be tasked with providing or selecting an independent firm that will do a gap analysis of where JPS is presently and where we want JPS ultimately to be. We will maintain local control. We will still have our Jackson Public School Board, and we will look to providing a transformational educational district. This is an exercise in operational unity. What we have been able to achieve is what very few people have believed that we could. This is a moment where we have taken advantage of our common interest instead of looking at our differences. This is a moment where the radical mayor and the conservative governor have worked together in order to work for the benefit of our children, and we are excited about that. Thank you so much. At this moment,
You did not mention MDE in your remarks. Do they have to sign off on this agreement before it takes effect?
MDE has been apprised of this agreement in the current structure. MDE is not a part of that structure, but I will say that we are willing and look forward to work with all people of sincerity and goodwill in the process of providing a better school district for our children. At this, before I get to the questions, I do want to thank quite a few individuals that have been a part of this process. First and foremost, I thank the governor. I thank the governor for his careful deliberation. I thank him for his objectivity, and I thank him for his willingness to listen to everyone engaged in this process in order to come to an appropriate resolution. I'd like to thank the Kellogg Foundation for their willingness to support the aims of creating a better educational system for our children. I want to thank members of my administration who have worked diligently in order to address this circumstance, to include a number of individuals, but I'd like to specifically talk about Chief of Staff, Dr. Safia Omari, CAO, Dr. Robert Blaine, and all of the hard work that has gone in an effort to make certain that we address this issue head on. I'd like to thank our legislative body, our legislative caucus from Jackson and their hard work, and all of the people who have committed several hours. I thank all of the community support, all of the community that have wrapped around this issue, our JPS and many, many more who have taken this issue seriously and have confronted this directly. I am just overjoyed. This effort represents a collaboration between the governor, between the mayor's office, between the business community, between educators, between a number of individuals. And at this time, this solution offers an opportunity for the community to be engaged in this process as we identify what we want to see out of our Jackson Public School District and make certain that we have a concerted effort to get there. And so I want to thank all of those individuals and many more. I would be standing here, first and foremost, I'd be standing here for a long time, but I'd be remiss if I didn't recognize the contributions of our council as well. Our council has been apprised of where we're headed with this. They have brought people to the table who have worked diligently to ensure that we sought the best outcome, not just exchanging one problem for the other. We did not see our Jackson Public School District under a state of emergency. However, we all recognize an opportunity for improvement. And in recognizing an opportunity for improvement, both the governor and myself agreed that we wanted a transformational process that provided no short-term solutions, but had a long-term vision for what we wanted to see out of our public school system. And so we're excited about this collaboration. At this time, we will take a few questions.
Has the State Board of Education guaranteed to you that they are not going to take JPS into the Achievement School District?
As I said, the Board of Education has been apprised of this. I understand that the governor and the Board of Education have had a discussion on this matter. I have not specifically spoken with the Board of Education, so I would pause before I make any declarations as to what their statement is at this time.
Is there a time frame for when this, or the 15 people will be put together, and how long they have to start achieving certain goals?
There has been a time frame outlined. I will provide an opportunity for Dr. Blaine to speak to those details with regard to the Educational Excellence Advisory Commission.
So this input does the city have in the selection of the 15
The city has quite a bit of input in that process. We've looked at an equitable distribution of the selection process of who those individuals would be. 5 of those individuals will be selected by the governor, 5 will be selected by the Kellogg Foundation, and 5 will be selected by the city of Jackson. And this commission, their ability will be, in order to offer their expertise to the process of seeing where our public school district is and selecting an independent firm which will assess the needs after having a series of community assemblies where the community can offer their critique, their suggestions, and their desires in the process. And at that time, there will be a gap analysis developed for us to look at and to assess in order to make certain that we go in the appropriate direction. And Kellogg will support us in making certain that we fill those gaps.
What about the members, if all the members of the current JPS board are resigning, who are you going to appoint to those positions?
At this moment, we will not be making any announcements of who those selections will be. We will be speaking with all of the individuals that are part of this process. We'll be speaking with our council as they are able to weigh in terms of the selections from the various wards. There are some individuals that we have in mind, but I am not prepared to make any announcement about those members today.
So the current board will resign?
I can barely hear you.
So the current school board will resign and you're going to appoint a new board?
The current board has already resigned in this process.
So there's no school board right now?
No one has been appointed at this time, but we will work in very short order to do so. At this time, I will allow Dr. Blaine to come forward to speak more about the Educational Excellence Advisory Commission. Thank you.
So the process of the Advisory Commission is twofold. The first part of the Advisory Commission is to ascertain the involvement of the community, to bring our community together to both look at the challenges of JPS, but also the aspirations of JPS. Our goal is to produce a transformative school district that transforms opportunities for our students. And so in order to do that, we must reach out to the community to hear their voice and to make them an integral part of the process of visioning what this transformational school district will look like. The other role of the commission is to be able to appoint an evaluator, to be able to first look at the current state of JPS and to bring in the community's ideas of what the vision of JPS will do or can be, and to produce a gap analysis that actually looks at where we are and where we want to be, and then to give us a plan to move forward and how to implement a strategy about truly creating a transformative learning experience for every single child in Jackson. Yes?
Who will be paying for that contractor?
So the Kellogg Foundation has generously offered their support and will support us through that process.
Do you know how much that's going to cost?
We don't know how much it's going to cost yet, but they'll begin that analysis very shortly.
Do you intend to select Empower Schools of Boston, Massachusetts to perform that analysis?
No, we'll put out an RFP process in order to bring together a national evaluator that we think is of the highest order. Yes.
Is Dr. Murray going to stay at the helm of JPS for now, or what are the plans for the superintendent post?
Yes, he will stay in the helm of JPS for now. JPS will have the opportunity to complete their corrective action plan, and we're proud of the work that Dr. Murray has done in that stead.
Has Jim Barksdale offered to pay a supplement for a permanent superintendent when the time comes to replace Dr. Murray?
A number of philanthropies have come to the table. We're not ready to announce any of those philanthropies, but we've had a number of philanthropic organizations that have offered their support.
At this time, I just would like to express our gratitude again to a number of individuals. I'd like to thank Yumika Rushing with the Kellogg Foundation. I'd like to thank Dr. Murray in this process. I'd like to thank the many employees of the Jackson Public School District who have been engaged, and so many educators that have come to the table in order to address this issue. And I'd like to thank our children. Our children have been very engaged in this process. They've listened as this process has come forward. They've organized an effort to have their voice heard, and at the same time, they've remained disciplined in order to allow this process to play out. And so I want to let them know that I am proud of them, that we are going to work diligently so that we can provide them the very best opportunities. As a JPS product, and I stand with many other JPS products at this time, as a parent whose child is in JPS, and as a father who, along with my wife, are expecting our next child, we look forward to introducing that child to JPS as well. Thank you so much.